Sorry. Acting City Manager Murmas, would you
Yeah,
excuse me for not recognize you when I didn't see you?
I'll go all the way back to 20 minutes ago. Both Mayor Johnson and Alderman Cadala were both correct. And in a way, staff can certainly bypass the RFQ and incorporate. Really, the RFQ is incorporated into an RFP anyway. So we'll work with professional firms that have done this or are doing this for other municipalities. Just because one firm is doing this with another municipality or has done it in the past doesn't mean we can't deal with them. So we'll open it up to RFPs from multiple firms, and that'll be the motion. That would be an appropriate motion.
Very good and well said, but when you point out those who worked with other cities in the past, yeah, that's fine, because they're not under somebody else's payroll. But if somebody is working with another city at this time, is receiving money from them, then to develop their interest, and we can't have a conflict of interest by exposing information that is confidential to somebody who's representing somebody else to get something more for them that would be at our expense.
Your point is well taken. I don't think we need that in the motion, though.
Okay, no, that was just, I guess, banter between you and me. So back to the original motion, it's amended to be at least 3, that we incorporate the RFQ into the RFP.
I'll agree.
I didn't quite say that. I said the RFQ is, in a way, within the RFP, so let's just go out for an RFP with multiple firms and bring that back to council.
Okay, we are now changing it to incorporate that way. Elaine, would you please read back what we finally have?
Okay, I believe you said to approve staff going out for RFPs for multiple firms for a master developer?
Did you strike the other motion on the floor, though? There was a motion on the floor, and there was a second.
We're changing.
What?
Amend.
You're
Motion.
going to amend that motion.
This is the way it turns out to read straight, as amended. Do I still have your second on this?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed?
All right, let's go for individual votes.
Alderman Wesley?
No.
Alderman Police?
Yes.
Alderman Lewiton?
Yes.
Alderman Shockey?
Yes.
Alderman Cadella?
Yes.
Alderman Coles?
Yes.
So the motion carries. Alderman Shockey?
Just one quick question. This meeting you're talking about, May 17th, is in Las Vegas. Is that a meeting specifically for the Thorndale Corridor Western Access?
Actually, no. It's going to be covered, but we're looking at the whole town. It's going to be covered, but that's not the main focal point of the meeting.
Okay, can you keep us informed as to when there will be local meetings about that Thorndale Corridor so that, as Mr. Malone said, we can make sure that we're represented by as many people as we can?
I actually just received notification this morning, and I'll forward that to all the aldermen for the next meeting. I believe, Mayor, did you get that? I think it's coming up in 2 weeks, another meeting. So I'll give that all to you.
If you would, please. I'd like to be informed so I can go too. Thank you.
Okay. It doesn't have it goes 5 to adjournment on the paper, but the items to be considered for future are always mentioned between just above adjournment. Sometime later in the year, we'll discuss the Georgetown area, and I'm going to point out that the road has been switched over to Nunzio's committee. And does anybody else want to put anything in for future?
I just had a question.
No? Okay, so that's over. And before we adjourn, Alderman Nunzio is going to speak.
As far as the Elgin O'Hare, we already have 3 aldermen that are on the 3 committees. I mean, if we start sending, I don't think we can start sending 6 aldermen to these meetings. Is that allowed?
think anybody's excluded. They're all public meetings, and we can send as many representatives as we want.
Okay, just, I wasn't
Unless
sure.
Mayor, I'm mistaken on that. I mean, there is designated group leaders, but as far as attendance, I wouldn't say it was limited.
And, excuse me, to answer Alderman Shockey's, the next meeting of the quarter planning group is April 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at Oak Meadows Golf Course in the Garden Room. That's April 16th at 6 o'clock.
Okay. Well, staff will be in Las Vegas at that time. Well, I'm sorry, it's April 16th? And you're going May 17th? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification. Then I'm going to ask for a vote to adjourn. All those in favor? I'm sorry, there's a point of recognition on the floor. Alderman Coles?
I've been trying for a while. I don't see why you cannot, at a master planning company, doesn't have different sections. Like, there's a group that goes to Addison, there's a group that goes to Itasca, and there could be a group that comes to Wooddale. And them would be different than the people from Itasca. So you could actually ask the same company what if they would have a group that could do it in Wooddale.
We'll definitely look at all options. If a firm does submit a proposal that is already working with another nearby community, we will investigate any potential conflicts with them and make a determination whether or not
I'm
it's appropriate.
certainly sure the group that worked on the Irving Park bypass was working on something else, somebody else was working on some other street. So, I mean, it isn't just, they're just gonna work for just Addison or Itasca. They have other people that work on different other projects. So, I just wanted to say that.
All input is welcome, and everything is boiled into the pot for the final stew. Again, back to adjournment. Do I have a second for adjournment? All those in favor? Any opposed? Then I call this committee meeting adjourned.